In the bustling heart of Lagos, a city that pulsed with an energy as vibrant as its people, lived Amara. From her teenage years, she was a force of nature, a whirlwind of vivacity and infectious laughter. Her beauty was undeniable, her charm irresistible, and her spirit untamed. Amara was the undisputed queen of every party, her dance moves legendary, her presence magnetic. She lived with a reckless abandon, embracing each day as a canvas for new adventures, heedless of the consequences that might follow. Warnings from her older sister, Ngozi, a woman of quiet wisdom and traditional values, were often met with a dismissive wave and a playful yet firm retort. Ngozi, abeg, leave me alone. Life is for living, not be for worrying, Amara would declare, her eyes sparkling with a defiance that masked a deeper insecurity. Her youthful escapades, though thrilling in the moment, left a trail of broken hearts and whispered rumors. She dated freely, loved intensely, and moved on without a backward glance, convinced that her charm and wit would always be her shield. The societal expectations, the judging eyes, the hushed gossip, she brushed them all aside, believing herself invincible. As the years matured Amara, they also brought a subtle shift in her perspective. The thrill of fleeting pleasures began to wane, replaced by a yearning for stability and genuine connection. It was then that she met Chike, a man whose kindness was as profound as his respectability. He hailed from a prominent family, his reputation unblemished, his future bright. Their courtship was a whirlwind of romance, a beautiful dream woven under the Lagosian sky. Amara, captivated by his gentle strength and unwavering devotion, fell deeply in love. Their wedding was a spectacle, a lavish celebration that became the talk of the town, a testament to their blossoming love and promising future. Amara was determined to bury her past, to shed the skin of her reckless youth and embrace her new identity as Chike's devoted wife. She envisioned a home filled with laughter, a life built on trust and shared dreams. Yet, a quiet dread gnawed at her, a fear that the shadows of yesterday might one day creep into her sunlit present. She loved Chike fiercely, and the thought of anything tarnishing their bond was unbearable. She chose silence, believing it was the only way to protect their fragile happiness. But the past, like a stubborn shadow, refused to be confined. It began subtly, a ripple in the calm waters of her new life. Hushed whispers at family gatherings, curious glances from Chike's older, more traditional relatives, and the occasional awkward silence when old acquaintances crossed their path. Amara tried to ignore it, to pretend it was merely her imagination, a figment of her anxious mind. She clung to Chike's love, hoping it would be a fortress against the encroaching darkness. But the whispers grew louder, the glances more pointed, and the silences more frequent, each one a tiny crack in the facade she had so carefully constructed. The turning point arrived one humid evening at a high-profile charity event, a glittering affair attended by Lagos's elite. Amara, radiant in her elegant attire, was enjoying a rare moment of peace when her past materialized in the form of a former lover. Embittered and fueled by alcohol, he launched into a public tirade, loudly recounting tales of her youthful indiscretions, each word a venomous dart aimed at her heart. The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating, silencing the bustling room. Chike, who had been standing proudly by her side, watched in horror, his face a mask of shock, hot and profound betrayal. The carefully constructed edifice of Amara's new life began to crumble, brick by painful brick. Chike, a man of honor and deeply rooted in tradition, was devastated. He confronted Amara later that night, his voice a low, pained whisper that cut deeper than any shout. Amara, is this true? All these things they are saying, why did you not tell me? He asked, his eyes once filled with adoration, now searching hers for answers she couldn't provide. Consumed by shame and regret, Amara could only weep, the words of explanation trapped in her throat by the fear that had kept her silent for so long. The weight of her past, once a distant memory, had crashed down upon her, threatening to engulf everything she held dear. The days that followed were a blur of tension and despair. Chike's family, once so welcoming and effusive in their praise, now viewed her with suspicion and thinly veiled disapproval. The once vibrant home, a sanctuary of love and laughter, became a place of quiet sorrow, each room echoing with unspoken accusations. Amara tried desperately to explain, to apologize, to beg for forgiveness, but the trust, once so absolute, had been shattered into a million pieces. Chike, torn between his love for Amara and the weight of his family's expectations, the public shame, and his own wounded pride, found himself in an unbearable position. He retreated, his silence a wall between them, his pain a chasm Amara felt powerless to breach. Amara spent countless nights staring into the darkness, replaying every reckless decision, every careless word. She saw the faces of those she had hurt, the whispers she had ignored, the warnings she had dismissed. Ngozi, her sister, visited often, offering silent comfort and a shoulder to cry on. But even her presence couldn't alleviate the profound guilt that consumed Amara. She realized that her past was not just a collection of memories, it was a living entity, a force that had patiently waited for its moment to reclaim its due. The reckless life she had lived in her youth had finally caught up to her, casting a long dark shadow over her marriage and her future. The path to redemption, she understood with a heavy heart, would be long and arduous, paved not just with apologies, but with genuine remorse, tireless effort, and a profound transformation of self. It was a journey she had to embark on, not just for Chike, but for herself, to rebuild not just her marriage, but her very soul from the echoes of yesterday.